These are the circles containing one word each, and each word depicts a personality type. But there's also a catch here. So each word has a very, very significant root word in it. For example, the first word egoist has ego in it, and the word altruist has alter in it. So similarly, there are various root words involved here, and you'll eventually find out that these root words are the basis of a wide variety of words. So, for example, you can make around 5 words from the root word ego and even more. And from alter, you can make tons of words. So that's the method that we'll be following. And roots become extremely significant even if you don't know any word that originates from alter. If you find such a word in exam, you'll be able to uh, gauge what that might be meaning because you already know the meaning of the root, so you'll be able to understand the meaning of the word as a whole. All right. So I guess I'll begin with these words. You should ideally note down whatever I'm saying as well. I mean, this chart is not comprehensive, so I'll be telling you the meanings by myself here only. All right. Can somebody tell me the meaning of the word egoist? Uh, yes, Gautami.
An arrogant person full of proud.
That's true. But proud of what is the question?
A person who is full of proud of himself.
Exactly. A person who is proud of himself. Gautami, you wanted to say something?
No, actually, I wanted to say the same, so I raised my hand.
Yeah. So basically, egoist, the root word is ego. That means I. So the ego is full of himself. He is obsessed with himself. He talks about himself. Look, the talks about himself is another word, egotist. But basically, egoist is the person whose main pursuit is to find the best thing for himself. So he is just all about himself, proud of himself, arrogant of himself. Everything is about that particular person only. So that's egoist. Now, moving on, egotist. Now, egotist is the person who is also an egoist, but egoist might be an introvert or might be an extrovert, might not like to talk to people and everything. But egotist is the person who talks to people and talks only about himself. He talks what he has done in the morning, what he has done during the day, what he wants to do in life, how much money does he have. Everything, whatever he talks about, largely comprises of his work and his ideals and everything. So the T in egotist is very significant here. I mean, it will help you learn. So T differentiates egoist from egotist. The T in egotist is about talking about oneself, basically. Any doubt up till here? I don't think. All right. You can, I wouldn't want you to interrupt me anytime, but you can obviously raise your hands. So, yeah. So, moving on to the next word is altruist. Does anyone know the meaning of altruist? Yes, Ananya.
The someone who thinks about others, welfare of others.
Yes, exactly. Also, some people are joining right now. Like just a heads up, if I take class ahead, like from now on, I'll start at sharp 6. I wouldn't be late. Today we began 10 minutes later. That's not something I usually do. Please join on time. Yeah, so altruist is someone who gets pleasure out of helping others. They like to help others. Okay, now he has joined right now. Yeah, so it's fine. So altruist is someone who likes to help others. He gets pleasure in helping others. So it's the almost the complete opposite of egoist. Egoist is too busy thinking about how to get the best thing for himself, but altruist is someone who thinks about others, thinks about helping others. Yep. So next is introvert, extrovert, and ambivert. These are all related. So what is introvert? Don't tell me your name. Yeah, so what's introvert?
The one who likes to keep to himself.
Yes, and what's extrovert? The one who likes to talk to other people.
The social
Basically,
butterfly.
yes, exactly. So introvert, I don't want normal Lewis terminology here, right? But yeah, but you're right. Introvert is someone who gets energy by spending their time alone. So basically, if I have been introvert a lot of times. So if I went to a party, I would need a whole day to recharge my battery because interacting with people drains their energy. So introvert is someone who gets their energy, their life vitality by spending time alone. Extrovert is someone who gets their energy and everything about themselves by spending time with other people. They like to interact, they like to do group projects, which introverts probably hate. So that's the thing with introvert and extrovert. But there's another variety of people who are that they are ambivert. Basically, they're both introvert and extrovert. So sometimes they might get very social. So a very good example of ambivert might be spending time going to a club. They would hate to go to a club with strangers in it, but they would love to go to a club with their acquaintances in it. So ambivert is basically who is sometimes introvert and sometimes extrovert, a combo of both. Any doubt up to here?
No, D.
Are we going fast? It's easy only. Up till now, I think you are able to write as well. Yeah. So moving on to yeah, misanthrope. So there's two roots involved here, mis and anthro. What is the meaning of the root mis? Miss. Who will tell?
The anti
Sorry.
root miss means anti.
Yeah, right, Pratyush. So miss is basically against. They hate it. So misanthrope. Anthro means humankind. Anthro refers. There's a study called anthropology, studies humankind and history. So misanthrope basically means somebody who hates people in general. They feel like um, humankind as a whole is not really good. So they hate misanthrope. They hate people basically. Now, mis is again used with misogynist. So, jinn or jinni is a word which signifies women and basically the femininity. So, misogynist is someone who hates women. So I think you are all understanding that all of these are connected by the root word miss. So if you ever find miss in any other word, even if you don't know the other root words about that specific word, you'll be able to identify that it means hating someone. Similarly, there's misogamist. So misogamist is somebody who hates marriage. So gamy is a word which signifies marriage. Can somebody tell me a very prominent legal word related to gamy?
Polygamy.
Polygamy.
Yes, polygamy, bigamy, very significant in Hindu
Bigamy and
law.
polygamy.
Exogamy.
Yeah, there are a lot of words. We'll study in detail about these. But so gamy basically signifies marriage, and misogynist is somebody who hates the institution of marriage as a whole. So these were all related. Ascetic is different from all of these. It's not related to anything. Ascetic basically means sage, like more like a sage who likes to who is not in very who is not in the favor of spending time in worldly pleasures. So they like to do with the very minimum, the very basic things that are available to people, and they like to live with that. They don't want to expend or try new things or try basically worldly pleasures. So that so these are very broad personality types. This is just personality types. It does not mean that every word related to alter will be related to a personality, or every word related to anthro will be related to personality. All of these root words give birth to variety of words does not who don't necessarily fit into a very particular category. Now give me a minute. I'll share. Okay, I can just do it right now. Okay, all right. 1 minute. Do you have any questions about any of the personality types up till now?
Please explain ascetic once again.
Ascetic is, you can say, in the manner of a person who does not like worldly pleasures. So they often like to live in forest, in penitence, spending time alone with nature, eating the bare minimum of food they can get. Egomaniac
Sort
will
of
go
nature
to that.
lover.
No, not necessarily nature lover. They can also live in a city, but they would just eat very basic, like they just don't want, they just don't like materialistic pleasures, so to say. They wouldn't want to get a smartphone or new watch or something. If they know they can do with a bare minimum chota wala dabba wala phone, then why would they want to go for latest technology and everything? So they don't, they like to do with the bare minimum. Yes. Okay. Yes,
Thank you.
Ananya. You're
The
welcome.
ascet does ascetic means is its meaning similar to minimalist?
No, minimalist is a terminology that has been thrown around nowadays, but an ascetic might also, the goal of an ascetic is to pursue spirituality, like to do away with earthly pleasures. But the goal of a minimalist, the objective of a minimalist would rather to don't mess with their own mind. So minimalist does things for the benefit of himself. Like you are taking less and less things, you are doing away with most of your things as a minimalist, so as to declutter your mind, declutter your environment. But an ascetic does it for the sake of it, does it for more often than not for spiritual reasons. If that makes sense. I
Okay,
hope it's
Rekha.
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now moving on to one of the root words, that is ego. So we'll cover two today, ego and alter. So ego is basically a Latin root. Most of the words in English have either come from Latin or from Greek and some other words from French and everything, but basically Latin and Greek. So ego is a Latin word which means I. So yeah, so we'll study three words related to ego. I'm pretty sure there are tons of other words as well. Okay, somebody is joining at 6:28. Very problematic. But yeah, three words: egocentric, egomaniac, and egomaniacal. So I've tried to put on this clumsy diagram because imagery works better in memorization. So if you see a diagram, you might remember it uh, better than rather than just reading about it, because you can obviously read it from a book. So yeah, ego basically means I. So egocentric is somebody who feels like they are the center of universe. A lot of times we also use words like, why does everything happen against me? Why does why all the wrong things have to happen to me? So in those times we kind of assume the personality type of an egocentric. We feel like everything happens either against us or for us, which is very wrong because universe is very large, obviously, and you're just a little part of it. But yeah, egocentric people think that they are the center of universe, so everything has to happen uh, to them, because of them, or for them. So also, okay, we'll come to it later. But egomaniac. So mania is another root word. Mania means obsession with something. So there are people who are pyromaniac, who are obsessed with lighting things to fire. Pyro is another root word. We'll study about it later. But so egomaniac is one person who is obsessively considered with their needs and desires. So now you might be getting confused about all of these words, but keep in mind that all of the second root words of these words signify their meaning. So egocentric thinks that they are the center of the universe, but egomaniac is always compulsively obsessed with their particular needs and desires. They want to do um, they want to do things that satisfy their desires and needs continuously and they're obsessed with it. They can never for once think of other people or do anything for the benefit of other people. Now, egomaniacal is same as egomaniac, but you use an adjective to signify a higher degree. So it's a higher degree of egomaniac, so to say. But also a difference here is that egocentric serves as both a noun and adjective, and egomaniacal only serves as an adjective. So egomaniac is just a noun. Okay, sorry to confuse, but egocentric is both a noun and adjective. So when you use a word like egocentric, you can say that that person is egocentric, and you can also say that um, um, his egocentric personality. So egocentric can be used both as a noun and an adjective. Now, egomaniac can only be used as a noun, and egomaniacal can only be used as an adjective. So egomaniacal is an adjective of egomaniac. I think it's pretty clear right now. Any doubt up till now related to any of these
No,
words?
Deep. No, Deep.
All right, one second. Yeah, so we'll move on to the next chart. So, but Ameen was asking who is an egomaniac. I hope it's clear now.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
All right, moving on to another root word, alter, which means other. Alter is also a Latin word, I guess. One second. Yeah, alter is also a Latin root. Alter means other, and all of these words basically imply one meaning or the other of other. So yeah, altruism is something that we talked about in the very beginning. Basically, an altruist is someone who does or who acts in order to benefit others. He is not obsessed with himself. He would rather take into consideration the interests of others than of himself. Then there is alternate. So alternate, you all use all of these words very commonly, except I think for alter ego. Yeah, so alternate is one. Alternate means to skip one and take the other. So a lot of times, uh, alternative is a lot of times used in case of maths, numbers. In number series also you find the word alternate, like take into reverse the alternate numbers and everything. So alternate basically means skip one and take the other. Alternative, on the other hand, means other choice. So um, you can either use, so you might find just two ice cream flavors in a wedding, and you can say that I got you a strawberry ice cream. The only other alternative is mango. So alternative basically means choices, but alternate is means skip one and take the other. I hope the difference is clear to everyone. If
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
not clear, just ask me. Yeah. All right. So all the cameras are off at this point. That's fine. So now moving on, we did altruism, we did alternate, alternative. Move on to the left side. Alteration. Have you heard about the term like there is an alteration in the plan or something of the sort? Alteration basically means we just altered something, we just changed it. Yeah, changed it a bit, made a minor change. It's not the same as before, it has changed as of now, and alteration is a noun. But alter is a verb. So both mean the same, is that like the meaning of both of these words is to change, but alteration is a noun and alter is a verb. Clear? All right. Next word is altercation. Why is Astha joining now? We've covered most of the things that we had to cover, but fine. So Altercation basically means a verbal dispute. You get into an altercation with your friends, your brothers, siblings, your parents, or whoever it is. Altercation is a verbal dispute, but it's a lesser degree of quarrel. In quarrel, you might use your hands to fight, and quarrel in quarrel there is increased tension. But in altercation, you are fighting, but fighting only through words. You are arguing on something, you are not agreeing on it. So I hope all these words are clear. Yes, the other word is alter ego. Now, alter ego is a combination of both alter and ego. So, ego means I and alter means other. So, alter ego basically means the other person who is like me. So, my other self. So, a lot of times you call your best friend's alter ego when you like a lot of people just coming into their teenage years start to use these French Latin slangs. So you will post a status with your best friend and you'll call him alter ego. I don't know if anyone of your friends has done that. It's very cringe. Don't do that. But yeah, alter ego basically means my other self. So you do things together. You almost like same shows. You like to do similar activities, follow similar paths and everything. You can call the other person that this person is just a ditto copy of me. So this person is my other self, my alter ego. So altruism, alternate, alternative. I think we covered everything that I had intended to cover. It was pretty short. Yeah, I had no idea like how much I would be able to cover because usually students ask a lot of questions. But yeah, the topic is not something that will make you ask a lot of questions. But are there any doubts as of now? Okay. So I can ask some questions. Um, Given the speed, I think we'll be able to cover most of normal US in a month or so because it's pretty all right. Okay, so can I ask you guys some questions? Is everyone here? Because if I
Yes.
cold call, okay. So I'll ask you questions that you can answer, but if nobody answers, I'll cold call. From next class onwards, we study for the whole 50, 60 minutes. But Abhi, I can ask you some questions, I guess. Um,
There are some doubts in the chat box. Can you please check that?
I think I covered most of them. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. One
Okay.
second.
Yeah.
Alteration of pants, right? We get altered. How is altercation related to its root word alter? So, a lot of times it's not necessary for a word to consider two root words in order to make sense. So, even if you look at the words that are given, there is this word called egoist. Ist is not significant. Ist is just like a suffix to a word, but ego is very significant. On the other hand, for a word like egomaniac, both ego and maniac are significant root words. So it's not necessary for a word to make sense to have two root words. That's why altercation is just altercation. The only root word here is alter. Now, I don't think there is a meaning about Kate or cation or something of the sort. Let me check, but as far as I know, there is no such word. Yes, like, yeah, there's no such word for like, there's no meaning of cation or something. It's not necessary for a word to make sense to have two root words or complete sense. I hope you got that. Now Sudiksha asks, egomaniac and egomaniacal का difference क्या होता है? So egomaniac and egomaniacal are completely same. Yeah, पता. But yeah, sorry. Egomaniac and egomaniacal are completely same. Oh, the only difference is egomaniac is a noun and egomaniacal is an adjective. So you'll say that he was behaving in a very egomaniacal manner. So here egomaniacal has been used as an adjective. On the other hand, egomaniac has been used as can be used as a noun, like you are an egomaniac, so to say. No, yeah. Uh, okay, so I hope doubts are cleared. All right, I'll ask something. Also, one important thing for introvert, introvert people often crave the attention of other people, but it's this only craving that makes them scared of other people or like uncomfortable with other people because a lot of times they are unsure of whether people will like them or not. But it's not necessary that this works with all introverts. So the basic meaning remains the same. These are just characteristics of people. Um, give me a minute. Okay, the questions here are boring. Yeah. Um, okay, okay, I'll just cold call now because you probably know all the answers. Uh, Zed, are you here? I'm
Yes,
not so sure if I'm pronouncing your name right,
you are.
but okay. So, what's the meaning of um ascetic?
Ascetic is someone who lives a simple life and is satisfied with some like the bare minimum and leads a life full of spirituality.
Right, right. Um, who will tell me the okay, not Shrushti, are you here?
Yes, the.
What's the meaning of alter ego? Were you not paying attention? Okay, those who are raising hands, I know you guys know. I wouldn't be asking you. Sorry, Prakhar, you can't answer. But Anamika, are you here?
Yes, the
What's the meaning of alter ego?
my other self, like alter means other and ego means I.
Yeah, but why would you call somebody alter ego? You don't have
Uh,
to really learn the literal meaning. Like, understand the gist of the word so that you can use. Like, guys, don't just study for CLAT. You have to. It's good to know good vocabulary in general.
like alter ego, we can say that when someone is behaving like extraordinary, or like they are not behaving like what they behave usually.
No, it's wrong. Alter ego basically mean who'll clarify the meaning of alter ego to Anamika? Arika, not sure if I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Am I audible?
yeah.
So the alter ego, matlab it's a copy of oneself. We can relate it like if somebody, matlab if some of my friend is just matlab is just a copy of me in her habits or something like our interest or something
Yeah.
like that.
Your interests are often overlapping. You like to work together and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, that clarifies. Now I'll ask some words. I don't expect you guys to answer. I just want to test like your general vocab level that I can plan like future classes in that manner. So it's not necessary for you to know, but just answer if you guys already know about it. So what does incorrigible mean?
One who can't be corrected.
Jashanpreet, do you have any other answer?
No, I had the same. Something which cannot be corrected.
Yes. Um, what does naive mean? Naive. Naive. I think it means okay. Shrashti, yes.
Innocent.
Yep. Not necessarily innocent. What's the exact meaning? What, Prakhar? Yeah, what's the meaning of naive? Disha.
Stupid. Somebody was stupid.
No, guys. I mean, these are overlapping terms, but for exam especially, you have to learn the exact meaning. Um,
Foolish, maybe?
sorry,
Foolish?
sorry.
Foolish?
Foolish, no. I mean, a person who is naive might be foolish, might be stupid, and whatever the first person said, I forgot about it. But yes, Arika, you can try.
Gullible, someone who lacks judgment.
See, all are answering for somebody. Like, if a person is naive, he might be gullible as well. Zaid, Zed. Sorry, you can try. Do you have any other answer?
I just told that. No, I don't.
Oh, so Arika, you also said, I think. Yes.
No, I
Prakhar
didn't.
is right. Prakhar is right. Naive basically means inexperienced. You are new to something, you don't know about it. On the other hand, the opposite of naive is dexterous. Somebody knows the meaning of dexterous.
Skillful.
Yes. So a lot of times these are used in opposing meaning. Somebody who is naive, somebody who is naive is new to something. They don't know much about it. Now, a lot of you all answered innocent. What else? Gullible. Somebody who is naive might have all these characteristics, but the meaning of naive is not that. It's just that you are new to something. So, if an American citizen comes to India, he is naive about Indian culture, but he might be as sharp. He might know that Indian tempo walas just fool them up, dupe them. So, he might be very sharp about it. So, he's not necessarily gullible.